Hare Krishna. One day, my daughter was asking me that, Ma, what exactly absolute truth or knowledge of the absolute? Though I am not a proper person to answer her, but because I have a little bit a drop of knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, I just was trying to tell about knowledge about absolute truth, about God. She just she just asked how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita. There are so many questions there in her mind. And how many slokas are there in Bhagavad Gita? So, really, we should know about Bhagavad Gita and how many chapters and slokas about slokas. This is very genuine question which everybody should have and should ask to their parents. There is absolutely nothing else except God. And the whole world is tied up with Him. Right? God's celestial Maya, the power from which the empirical universe is evolved, is mostly difficult to comprehend. But they who are always engaged in the worship of God navigate safely across it. The Maya, the Maya is called divine, but that does not mean that we should start burning incense sticks as a reverent offering to it. It should never be forgotten that it is something that we have to vanquish and get across. What do you mean material wealth? Material wealth is the means that sustains the body as well as all its relations. So, riches and satisfactions of desires are first provided by God. Point to be noted. Riches and satisfactions of desires are first provided by God. Lord Krishna says that He is the provider of means, but His words suggest more than this. The really lasting wealth is made up of spiritual acquisition. This is the real treasure. Actually, seventh chapter from Bhagavad Gita talks about knowledge, about absolute truth. Bhagavad Gita, the nature talks about the nature, seventh chapter talks about the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests such opulences is described here in seventh chapter. Also, four kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna, and four kinds of unfortunate people who never take to Krishna are described in this chapter. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahmayoti and Paramatma in full. By practice of Krishna consciousness yoga, one can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and their manifestations with the essential precondition of this complete awareness of God should be carefully noted. All the properties of nature, ignorance, passion, and virtue are born from God. Yet, however, He is not in them and they are not in Him. He is not absorbed in them and they cannot enter into Him because He is unattached to and and he has to gain nothing from nature or its properties, and so they cannot taint him. Him, it means we are talking about God. So here, God is not absorbed in them. It means whatever we can see, whatever we have around us, right from a piece of dust, a piece of right from dust, dhul, which is called in Hindi. God is residing in everybody's heart. Also, God is there in every minute thing. Actually, Bhagavad Gita says that God alone is the real dharma, the immortal soul that holds all within himself is dharma. How beautiful explanation about dharma. So, what is dharma? The immortal soul that holds all within himself. Himself means here we are talking about God. That is dharma. God alone is the real dharma. Here, Lord Krishna said that He is beyond the three properties of nature and that He is abiding in the supreme state by unifying with unmanifest God. But here, Lord Krishna says that ignorant and unwise men do not worship Him because hidden behind His Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya's role is very much important here. He appears to them as just an ordinary mortal. It is only by continuous meditation that seeker can pierce through the pile of Maya and know the unmanifest essence of his physical incarnation. He cannot be known without this. So basically, Lord says that Maya Devi, I mean, if a person trapped by Maya, then for him it's very difficult to worship God. He cannot, he will not be able to understand God. He has, Krishna has said in 7th chapter that who surrender themselves to him, who surrender themselves to unto Krishna, unto Lord, and practice selfless devotion, selfless action, know him perfectly. But hardly one among thousands endeavors to know him, and hardly one among those who try really knows him. Lord Krishna is the root of all creation. The science of God analyze the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti or the energy of the Lord in his different Purusha incarnation, which is described in this chapter. For material creation, Lord Krishna's planetary expansion assumes three Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as the Mahatattva. The second, Garvadakshai Vishnu, enters into all universe to create diversities in each of them. Garvadakshai Vishnu. The third, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, is diffused as the all-pervading supersoul in all the universe and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement. This material world is a temporary manifestation of one of the energies of the Lord. All the activities of the material world are directed by these three Vishnu expansions of Lord Krishna. These Purusha are called incarnations. Generally, one who does not know the science of God, Krishna, assumes that this material world is for the enjoyment of the living entities and that the living entities are the Purusha, the causes, controllers, enjoyers of the material energy. According to Bhagavad Gita, this atheistic conclusion is false. In the verse under discussion, it is stated that Krishna is the original cause of the material manifestation. Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms this. The ingredients of the material manifestation are separated energies of the Lord, even the Brahmayoti, which is the ultimate goal of the impersonalist, is a spiritual energy manifested in the spiritual sky. There are no spiritual diversities in the Brahmayoti as there are in the Brahmalokas, and the impersonalist accepts this Brahmayoti as the ultimate eternal goal. The Paramatma manifestation is also a temporary, all pervasive aspect of Krishna, of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Paramatma. Paramatma manifestation is not eternal in the spiritual world. Therefore, the factual absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He is the complete energetic person and he possesses different separated and internal energies. In the material energy, the principal manifestations are 8, as above mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Out of these, the first 5 manifestations, namely earth, water, fire, air, and sky, are called the 5 gigantic creations or the gross creation, within which the 5 sense objects are included. They are the manifestation of physical sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Material science comprises then these 10 items and nothing more. But the other three items, namely mind, intelligence, and false ego, are neglected by the materialists, philosophers who deal with mental activities are also not perfect in knowledge because they do not know the ultimate source Krishna, the false ego, I am, and it is mine, which is stated in Bhagavad Gita, which constitute the basic principle of material existence, includes 10 senses, 10 sense organs for material activities. Intelligence refers to the total material creation called the Mahatattva. Therefore, from the 8 separated energies of the Lord are manifest the 24 elements of the material world, which are the subject matter of Sankhya atheistic philosophy. They are originally offshoots from Krishna energies and are separated from him. But atheistic Sankhya philosophers with a poor fund of knowledge do not know Krishna as the cause of all causes. It is described in Bhagavad Gita that the subject matter for discussion in the Sankhya philosophy is only the manifestation of external energy of Krishna. Om Ajnanam Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitan Yena Tasmae Shri Guruve Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Hari Bol.